Good morning, America, and thanks for joining us here live at the Ledge on this beautiful Aloha rainy Monday, but we're happy here. Smiles. I'm Crystal Akana Pang here with Representative Andrea Tupola and House Minority Leader. Good morning. You're looking fabulous.
Oh, thank you. Good morning. How was your Easter?
It was wonderful.
Oh.
I didn't find a golden egg, but it was still great.
Oh, much needed 3-day though.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so we're a week away from second crossover. Now, let's just explain to people who are watching, what is second crossover mean? What is that all about?
So crossover means from the House to the Senate or the Senate to the House. Because I'm a State House representative, second crossover means that we've just heard all of the Senate bills and now we're about to vote to either determine whether or not they pass or whether they get put into conference committee, meaning that there's a House and a Senate version that maybe disagree, and then those go into conference and then we take our final votes. There are some bills, however, that are called clean bills, which means that there's not that last process. Clean bills are such where both the Senate or the House haven't amended it, and it's actually a version that both agree on, and those go actually straight up to the governor's office.
So clean bills, seems simpler that you guys all agree?
If you think about some of those bills that actually are called clean bills, I mean, they've been going through this chamber as well as the House chamber multiple times. People are probably unaware that the rate of passage of a bill in the State House legislature is under 10%. So some of these bills have been heard up to 16, maybe even 32 times before they actually had full agreeance and then pass through.
Okay, so we do agree. We do agree here at the Capitol.
Very few times.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so some of the bills from your caucus is going to the second crossover. Do you know any of those bills that are present?
Yeah, so two that we're particularly keeping our eye on. One has to do with opioids. And as many people are very well aware, we have a crisis going on. People are very concerned of the overprescription of opioids, as well as the lack of protocols in pharmacies to recollect these opioids and take in the overprescription of medication. So this bill introduced by Representative Thielen has to do specifically with labeling opioids to warn people that it can be addictive. The second bill that is also passed through the House and now is passing through the Senate is introduced by Representative Bob McDermott, and it's in regards to a specific road in Eva that has multiple owners, multiple agencies, and has been really underkept as well as very dangerous for kids that are walking to school. So this bill is seeking to find the funds to actually consolidate all the ownership and put in infrastructure needed so that there's a safety for children walking to school.
Okay. You are in the Finance Committee. There are about 150 bills that are coming to the Finance Committee. How do you decide where the money goes? Which bill will still stay alive? Which bill will get funded?
So there's two parts of the Finance Committee that people should know. One is bills that contain appropriations, but the second thing is that we also deal with the budget. So the budget has to do with a lot of line items. I've had frequent calls from people with grant in aids, which are called GIAs, and people want to know, am I going to get a GIA? There's also something called a SPRB that stands for a Special Purpose Revenue Bond. That's also an allocation of state taxpayer dollars that are given to companies that are supposed to be helping the economy or bringing in more dollars into the economy. So there's lots of different bills that we vote on, but there's different characteristics to it, from bills with dollar prices on it, to the budget, to GIAs, to SPRBs. And actually, personally, as a representative, I don't have full discretion over yes and no on all of those. It's actually a compilation of representatives as well as senators that have to come together and decide which ones are priorities.
So there is some type of disappointment when there are bills that your committee would like to fund, but there's not enough money for it?
I think that's always the big debate across the state of Hawaii is, Is there really not money in this state? And the answer is no. There's lots of money coming in this state. What people want to know is, why are they not a priority? You know, why is certain rural areas not prioritized? Why are the counties not prioritized? So one of the bills that's coming through, we just voted on the House side, and this had to do with giving extra transit accommodation tax money to Kauai County, Maui County, and Hawaii County. And the reason why Oahu wasn't part of that is because, as you know, last year there was a very controversial special session about the TAT being allocated statewide for an Oahu project. So this bill, SB 648, seeks to give additional funding to these counties because of the hit that they took last year, as well as the discontent with residents across the state on having to pay for an Oahu project. So the bill specifically states that I believe Kauai County would be getting $9 million, Hawaii would be getting 12, and Maui County would be getting $14 million, in addition to whatever they're getting in the TAT funding currently.
That's great. Are there any bills that are still alive that you're excited about?
Well, I think for me, a lot of it is appropriation bills. I mean, of course, we want to see our caucus member bills actually get passed. As you know, it's very few and far between when we have a minority bill get passed, but there are points that we have brought up that many Democrats agree with, a lot of good initiatives as well as policies that need to be changed. And so every chance that we do get to have a minority caucus bill cross over to the Senate and then come back or even get passed is a win for our caucus.
Would you like to see the process? I know we're just throwing this out there. I'm throwing this out there, putting you on the spot. Would you like to see the process here at the Hawaii State Capitol a little different? You know, other states, they only meet every other year. What do you think how the process in Hawaii has been?
I think two things. One is that people do actually think that we're passing way too many bills that we don't understand anything about. One of them in specific was in regards to a special purpose revenue bond that was for $25 million for a company called Spin Launch to do something in Puna on the south side of Hawaii Island, which many of us don't know, one, the area, two, who is this company, but there's multiple SPURBs, multiple GIAs. So would I like to see there be less bills and more depth into us understanding it? Absolutely, absolutely. The second thing that I think about too, when you have less days that you meet, is that you can actually get into your communities more often. And I feel like then we can start to speak the community language that people feel like we're missing here because we're so concerned about statewide policies and forgetting that some of these communities are dying without some of this really pertinent funding.
Speaking of getting into the communities, you're really active in your community as well as communities nearby that you don't even represent, but you still go out of your way to help them. You have an ukulele bash coming up?
Yes, so April 20th at the Lagoon 4 at Ko'olina, and this is in regards to the arts and music programs on the west side. So as you know, there's very little funding for it, so I try to take proactive initiatives where I create festivals or create events where we can kind of fill that gap where government can't fill and nonprofits can't fill. It's a free event. The public is welcome to come from 6 to 7 to a free concert. We're inviting all the students on the west side to participate in the prior initiative, which is that they'll be learning how to build and play ukulele.
And for more details, they can check out your Facebook page?
Yes, they can check out our Facebook page. Please call my office if you have any questions, 586-8465. There's still a few days left in the legislature. We want to hear your voices. I still need to cast some votes, so please call us, get involved, and let us be a part of making a better Hawaii.
Thank you so much. With Representative Andrea Tupola, House Minority Leader, I'm Crystal Lakana-Pang. Thank you so much for joining us here live at the Ledge. Until next time, we'll see you later. Aloha.